Welcome to Patrick's Scale Studio. My name's Patrick, and I'll be your host. What do we have in front of us here? This is what I want to call the Cincinnati, Ohio display. I'm currently living in Cincinnati, and it's where I was born. I figured it kind of deserved a model display of its own, and made possible due to the fact that both the USS Ohio class submarines have a USS Ohio, and the Los Angeles class submarines have a USS Cincinnati. So these are in 1/350th scale. And furthermore, I just thought because they're smaller models, they can both fit on one chunk of wood, and we just kind of suspend them up on some brass posts that I still have yet to polish. So these are not finished. What these require still is some oil weathering here in order to make them look like this for the USS Ohio, and this for the USS Cincinnati. Now the USS Cincinnati is no longer in service any longer, and the USS Ohio is no longer an SSBN, it is an SSGN, and I believe it is also scheduled for retirement here soon, but that may or may not be right. I'll have to look, but regardless, anyway, I'm going to put these both into the same display on this wood base here after I get them finished up with oils and sealed up. Then they'll be out of the way. So why am I bringing these up? I have no build series or anything like that for these. Mainly simple fact is, I got the Spitfire and the Hurricane taken care of. We got the Fletcher done. So I'm starting to clear some room off my bench and getting some shelf, what they call shelf queens or projects in the Shelf of Doom wrapped up and finished up. So these weren't necessarily really long-term inhabitants of the Shelf of Doom, but they were up there for a little bit, so I'm getting them taken care of. But also it's an interesting segue here because they are 1/350th kits, and my next projects here I'm going to be posting on YouTube are going to be 1/350th scale ships. So let's go ahead and get into what I've got and what I'm going to be working on and hopefully putting some content out there for. So be right back here with the first one. Alright, so the first 1/350th scale project I'm going to be putting online is the USS Langley CV-1. It is a 1/350th scale kit by Trumpeter, and it is our nation's very first aircraft carrier. Actually, I kind of fell in love with the kit and the look of everything through a couple online forums and Nigel's modeling bench. So I'll go ahead and have a brief look here. These aren't the actual instructions for it. No, these are instead the instructions for a bunch of photo etch I got for this. And it came with a nice wooden deck. So we'll be able to give this a nice real wooden deck along with all this photo etch here. And mainly the point of this photo etch is for the trusses that hold up this flight deck right here. So, but you also get some railings and some cranes, all kinds of good stuff in here. And the kit itself actually came with some of the photo etch as well. You also get some nets and things like that. So as you can see, there's a lot to it here. But it's a 1/350th scale kit. I won't have to sit there and pour over detail after detail after detail. It's a bit of a smaller model, as we can see with the deck. And what I've gotten done on it so far. Alright, now there's no color photographs that really exist for this in the pre-World War II configuration, so I'm kind of going off of what I think looks cool. And what I was kind of able to ascertain from other models, like professionally done models for museums and whatnot, is it still had wood decks down here. So this is going to be wood. These were metal decks, or at least painted wood. So, and these are cargo holds, because CV-1 was originally not built to be an aircraft carrier. It was built to transport cargo. So that's what I've got done. Currently it's awaiting a wash both on the hull and the decks, and then we can start building up the photo etch trusses and all that. Also got a little bit of aftermarket here for the 4 5-inch guns that are on this right here. They're really itty bitty, and they're resin. They came from China through eBay. I'm gonna probably have to straighten some of the barrels on them, but it's okay. A little bit of warm water and persistence will take care of it. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this aside, and we'll move on to the next 1/350th scale ship. A while back, I bought the USS Missouri in 1/350th scale by Verifier. It was the basic kit. I did a review of it and the advanced detail upset, I believe. So here's the detail upset. The basic kit came from the local hobby shop, and they did not have any of the advanced ones. So, but again, a lot of photo etch. A lot is going to go into this, along with a lot of 3D printed parts, metal barrels, and beautiful wooden deck. So probably going to be having a video for this coming out very soon, so I can get the hull prepped and put together. That aside, some of the challenges with this hull are, one, I gotta get some I guess you could also call them trusses here. It kind of holds things together inside of here, like you see on a lot of 1/350th scale ship hulls. So I've got these right here, those three. And then here in the bottom, we've got some sink marks. I don't know if the light will show those off very well. Yep, ooh, there that is, right there. You can kind of see that sink mark right there. So part of the hull prep's going to be dealing with that, dealing with some of these molding seams right here. But overall, it looks like everything fits pretty well. And once we get the sink marks and the mold seams dealt with, then we're going to have to go ahead and work on getting these little plates put into the side of the hull on that fret of photo etch. It's still kind of a mystery to me as to why they weren't molded in place with the hull, but that's neither here nor there. I guess it's maybe just something to drive up parts count. There's the plan for it. So would not really anything to scale in this drawing or anything like that, so I'm gonna probably take some tape, measure out where it is on that, and then just divide by 20, and there we have it. Alright, so let me go ahead and put this stuff aside, and we'll get into the last one I want to show off in this video. Alright, the last of the 1/350th scale ship models I want to show in this video here. USS Lexington CV2 in May of 1942. So there are a couple different configurations of the USS Lexington, or the Lady Lex, that you can model just depending on what time period you wanted to model her. Because at one point in time, she had dual 4 turrets with dual 8-inch guns to 4 of the bridge or island and 2 aft of it, after the funnel. As you can see, those are not present here because they finally figured out that aircraft carriers don't need large armaments. They've got airplanes that can do all of the destructive work to the enemy for them. Alright, sorry if that seemed a little bit disjointed. The battery decided to die on me in the middle of filming. As I was saying though, this kit required the most amount of aftermarket in order to kind of bring it up to how I want it to be. As we can see, we've got a wooden deck. It comes with masks for painting on some of the flight deck details. It even has some chain here. The chain's not really a big deal. You don't see the anchors very well in this. There's no anchor well like there are on like Yorktown and Enterprise and Hornet. We've got a great big sheet of photo etch from Gold Medal Models. This is nice. It has all of the nets that go around the entire flight deck, so this would be a nice addition, along with tons of railing. All right, again, these are some of the Chinese 3D printed guns, because Lady Lex had 5-inch guns, and they're not really, let's see if I can get these to focus in here. They're not really widely marketed for 1/350th scale. And these barrels all look a touch bent as well, so need a little bit of adjustment here in order to bring them up into you know, regular spec. A little bit of hot water should do the trick though. And this one right here is the one that actually goes with CV1. I need to move those out of here. We also have a again, an anchor and chain. Maybe we'll be able to use that. We've got barrels for the 1.1 inch, they call them Chicago piano, but it's really, it's a set of 4 1.1 inch guns here for air defense. The radar set here, so we can bring the radar up to accurate instead of just one big solid piece. A lot of guns on this one. These are the 20mm Oerlikons by Infinity Model, and the 50 cal water-cooled machine guns by Infinity Model. So a lot of fun here, and its first video will of course be getting this hull into good shape. As you can see, it comes in 2 pieces, so you can either do a waterline or you can do a full hull. I like full hull, so that's what we'll be doing on that. Go ahead and put this stuff aside and touch base and sign off. And last couple things I'm actually working on at the moment. They may or may not get any kind of attention through a YouTube video. It's going to be the United States M40. It is a self-propelled artillery piece. It's actually, the model and the building is almost completely done. It really at this point just requires finishing up. And then we've got a 1/16th model of a German half-track with a great big gun on the back. Kind of started on the lower hull on that. Not a very easy kit so far. I've got to add. A lot of this, you have to line all of this up, as you can see in that picture, and has not been entirely easy. But go ahead and put that stuff aside. And if there's anything you would like to see more of, or you got any hints or tips, suggestions on how things go together, or anything I could do better, please feel free to provide that feedback in the comments section below. And until we see each other next time, stay safe, happy modeling.